Welcome students to the 16th episode of the Company Program Podcast. It feels really weird saying week 16. It feels like just yesterday we started and I was just getting to know all of you and seeing all the amazing teams and products and companies that you all started. But here we are. We're just about done the program. We have 3 weeks left, including this one. We need to start wrapping up our company's operations, but there's a few other to-do items that I want to talk about before I discuss liquidation again. Next Monday, we have the third session and the final session of the Business Development Speaker Series. The two topics that we're going to be talking about are around liquidating your company, as well as creating a shareholders report and analyzing shareholders reports that other companies make. Both of the volunteers that are leading these sessions have told me how excited they are to be involved with the company program again and see and speak to all of you students. Jezelyn, who will be leading the liquidation session, is actually a long-time company program mentor, and she's run this session a few times in the past. So she knows the nitty-gritty and the ins and outs of the program and can definitely answer specific questions that you might have for her. Jasper, who will be leading the shareholders report segment, has tons of experience with both writing and reading shareholders reports. He's also someone that was involved with JA in the past. He's excited to not just tell you how you can demonstrate and communicate your company's operations to other people, but he's excited to show you how you, as an individual outside of the company program, can read financial statements as well as financial documents to make big decisions, such as whether or not you're going to invest in a company. These skills are very useful to know, and like I've been saying, attending this session will help in both your personal and professional development. A minimum of 3 students needs to attend from each team, and the RSVP link will be in the description below. This is the absolute last chance to apply for scholarships and awards. The deadline for these is on February 28th. I know there are lots of students who have been diligently working this whole time to get these applications done, but if you've had a sudden change of heart and now you know you want to apply for these, we better get to work because you only have a few hours before the applications close. After the applications close for all of you, we're going to have hand-picked judges go through each and every single one. They're going to make a short list, a top 5 finalists for every single scholarship and award. If you were selected for this short list, you will be informed by March 11th, and you will have to come in for a virtual judging interview on March 16th. And this is also a gentle reminder to start working on your shareholders report if you haven't yet. Now, you still have some time before this is due, and I know you don't yet have all the information you need to get this done, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to start talking about overall what kinds of things you can start writing about, as well as splitting the total assignments up, really figuring out who's going to do what parts of the report. The last thing I'm going to talk about right now is liquidation. At this point, you really have to start liquidating, and if you haven't talked about it yet, that should be your priority for this next meeting. Definitely stop producing any product if you still are, and start talking strategy for selling whatever remaining inventory you have, as well as equipment you purchased and any leftover supplies you had to make your product. Members of the executive team are going to be responsible for the back end of the liquidation process. This means you're going to be the ones responsible for closing certain documents. This includes your ledger, your journal. It also includes your sales tracker, production tracker, as well as any other additional forms that you use this year to help track your finances and keep your records. This too is something you should start making a plan of how you're going to execute. I know until you sell all your products, you really can't complete these things, but at least knowing and preparing for what steps you have to take to do these things and whatever specific unique liquidation calculations and processes you have, it will go a long way for when the time eventually comes. This step is vital for unincorporating your company or just handing in the final submissions that we have this year. This is the final bank withdrawal request, and it's just a statement that shows how much you're paying in taxes as well as donations. It's kind of the nice final bow that you're going to be tying on your company to officially close down operations. Now don't panic, because remember, you don't have to do every single thing I mentioned right at this moment. But it is something that the next 3 or 4 weeks are going to consist of. So start talking about who's going to do what and make a plan, and definitely make sure everybody understands what's going on. That's all for this week. I'll see you next time, students.